SketchUp will appear in your toolbar at the bottom of your computer screen, and if you're using a PC, it will be in the Applications window and you can click on it there. Click the red tiered box to open it. Once SketchUp opens, you'll see a window where it asks you to choose a template. You'll click on Choose Template, and I suggest the Architectural Design Feet and Inches template. Select that and click Start using SketchUp. This is what you see when you open SketchUp. If you don't see a large toolbar here on the left-hand side, go up to View, and we have our large toolbar on the left-hand side. I want to show you a few things about SketchUp and some of the tools that we'll be using for this project. Get a 3-button mouse, a right click, a left click, and a scroll wheel. It will make navigating a lot easier, but it's not absolutely necessary if you don't have access to one. I want to show you navigation tools to start. They are located up here and also here in the toolbar. The Orbit tool lets you rotate around an object. What you'll notice is that we're going around the green-red axis and the blue axis. This helps us orient our models when we're working on them. The Hand tool, or the Pan tool, allows us to go back and forth and up and down. The Zoom tool, which if you have a scroll wheel is also the scroll wheel, you can zoom in and out. These 3 tools work together. If you do have a 2-button mouse with a scroll wheel, if you push down in the center, your cursor will automatically turn into the Orbit tool. If you hold down the scroll wheel and hold the Shift button, that will turn into the Pan tool. And if you have a scroll wheel, you will be able to scroll in and out no matter what tool you have selected. There are a few different tools that we're going to be using for this project where we're laying out the floor plan of a room. One of them is going to be the pencil tool. When you draw a line in SketchUp, or when you're using most tools, it's a 2-click process. It's a click to start and a click to end. You'll notice when you draw lines, there is an end point. And when you click again to start the next line, you want to make sure that you're clicking on an end point. If you want to find the middle of the line, it turns into cyan, and you can draw the middle of the line from there. If we're making a shape, we want to go from end point to end point and connect it in order to create a surface. You'll see that when you drag the line around, it will snap to different points. Here is a blue point, which tells us it's going in the blue axis, which is right here. And if I drag it away, I can see that it goes to the green axis, which is right here. And then if I pull it over to the right and continue it, it is paralleling the red axis. So this lets you know that you're making 90-degree corners when you draw a shape. So I'm going to go to the green axis, click again, drag along the red axis. And SketchUp uses something called inferencing, which means that it will help you to line up something. And you can see, although it's very faint, that if I click here, there is a green dotted line, and that lets me know that I am parallel to the first point where I started from in perspective. So I'm going to click here again to lock that in, and I'm going to go across and connect it. And when I do that, those lines create a surface. If I want to delete a shape, I can use one of 2 tools. One, triple click, select the surface and the outer lines, and then I can click delete. I can also use the eraser tool. The other tool I'm going to use, which may be important for you when you're creating your project, is the guideline tool. What this does is it lets you pull a guideline from a particular point in space. So in this case, I'm going to pull a guideline 3 feet from this green axis. And to do that, I'm going to click once, drag the guideline, and I want you to look in this box right down here as I do that. And you will see that that will tell you what the measurement is. Now I can also define a measurement by just pulling, and as I'm pulling, before I click to anchor it, type in the increment. So I'm going to type in 5 feet and I'm going to hit enter. Remember that a foot is an apostrophe on the keyboard and inches are quotes. So here I'm going to try it again. This time I'm going to do 5.5 inches. So I'm going to click to start, pull to end, and notice that I'm not clicking again, but instead I'm typing into that bar 5 feet space 6 inches. And that way I know that this is 5 feet 6 inches apart. And I can double check that by clicking and then dragging over that just to double check that measurement. Remember, if that you want to get out of a tool, you can always hit the escape key. Another way to erase lines is to use the eraser tool here. All you have to do is mouse over the thing you want to erase and click it. You'll see that it turns blue, so you're selecting it and then deleting it.